What's up, fellas? Welcome to Mouth Dancing. Your host, Young. What a week it's been. It's been pretty hot outside. Hot enough to basically melt your underwear off your body. If your underwear is made of some sort of a meltable substance, I suppose. But then again, it hasn't been as hot as it was when we had that heat dome in June. And it was like living in hell, basically. The temperature was up to like almost 110. But it's way hotter than if you're like in the desert. Because it wasn't like a dry heat, it was humid. And it was like, living underneath Satan's nutsack. I think I already talked about that when it was actually happening. But it was like if you were sandwiched between his nutsack and his chode, and you were just hanging out in there, trying to like get some fresh air, but then you're just breathing in his like butthole fumes the whole time. That's basically what it was like. Right now it's not as hot as that. It's just really warm. It's kind of humid. But I guess I shouldn't complain because I'm going to be complaining way more about the winter weather when it's really cold out. I guess it doesn't get super duper cold in Seattle, but it snows every once in a while, and it's just kind of depressing because it's cloudy for 10 months in a row. You basically want to fucking kill yourself, hang yourself with your bed sheets. I think if I were going to kill myself publicly like that, I would do it naked. Because then it would just be way more of a sight, you know? I mean, your face is already going to get really grotesque looking from it. But then I heard you're going to like shit and piss and stuff. So I would want that stuff like running down my legs if I was going to do that. Wonder if you get a boner from hanging yourself. Would all the blood like shoot into your wiener when you hang yourself? Then you'd have like a boner while you're dying? That'd be crazy. What if someone like came and like sucked your dick while you were hanging there? Wonder if it would feel good or if you would be too busy like thinking about the fact that you're dying. Maybe they would kind of cancel each other out. It would feel really good if you getting your dick sucked but then you'd be dying, so it would be like, I don't know, miserable and painful. And, that suffering and that joy would like cancel each other out. Maybe that'd actually be kind of good. Then when you're dying, it wouldn't be as bad. It wouldn't feel as bad. Hanging seems like the worst way to do it, though. I mean, or one of the worst ways. It seems really drawn out and like painful. Taking pills is kind of weird too, because then I guess you just kind of go to sleep, right? Using a gun seems really violent. I guess the best way to kill yourself is to probably just not do it. I remember I saw this story on YouTube about this guy. He jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge because he was gonna kill himself, or he tried to. But it didn't work, I guess. He just got really hurt from it. And then he said that as soon as he jumped, he felt regret about it. So, but I wonder if that guy got a boner when he was falling, because you get such a rush from it, the adrenaline. I wonder if when he was falling from the Golden Gate Bridge, he had a boner in the air, and then someone saw it and they were like, "Oh, that guy's a pervert." Even when he's committing suicide, he's got a boner. What a sick fuck. What if you are free-falling from the Golden Gate Bridge and jerking off in the air and trying to like come before you hit the water? But then that would really hurt when you hit the water and you slapped your penis and balls against the water. Unless you had your back to the water and you were like jerking up, facing up toward the sky. That'd be kind of cool to come in mid-air like that. I don't know, I should probably stop talking about suicide and masturbation and masturbating while committing suicide or getting your dick sucked while doing it. It's pretty nasty stuff. It's not what you guys are used to hearing from me. Usually the content's much more wholesome than that. A lot more uplifting, you know what I mean? And like spiritually nourishing. It's good to nourish your spirit once in a while. It's like, you have to eat oatmeal to nourish your body. Well, your spirituality also needs to be nourished in a similar way. Like, you could take like multivitamins for your body. Then you have to like take meditation vitamins for your brain and your soul. You should like meditate once in a while about, what you have and be grateful for it instead of thinking about what you don't have. And look at the positives, right? And then also, not focus too much on the negatives. But I guess meditation is not exactly about thinking about stuff. It's a lot about just emptying your mind and not thinking about anything, which is really hard to do if you've ever tried to do it. It's like the more you try to not think about something, the more you think about all these different things. I guess that's one of the big challenges with meditation. But it's a good practice still. It's still worth trying. It's good for you, It's like the spiritual equivalent of oatmeal for your body. I wonder what the spiritual equivalent of like jerking off is for your soul. I feel like if you have some sort of rapturous experience, maybe from being on psychedelics, or just like experiencing extreme elation and joy. It's kind of like, it's kind of like ayahuasca for your butt. Not your butt, your soul. I've never tried ayahuasca before. Tried mushrooms, those were pretty cool. I recommend everyone try mushrooms at least once or twice. I've never done acid either, but I think that would be cool. But I would prefer to do natural psychedelics if I ever do them again. I'd probably do like ayahuasca or mushrooms. Or, what else is there that people do? I forget the name. I think there's one where you like suck the venom out of a toad and it makes you high. That'd be kind of a cool one to try. But yeah, when I was on mushrooms in college, I remember I was staring at this calendar of a scene in like Asia. It was like an old Asia watercolor painting, and I was just staring at it, and it felt like it was moving, and I was like, I wanted to go inside that world and be like, that was my homeland, that's where I should be. My people, like, just chilling near waterfalls, and like there's a rice paddy or something probably nearby. And it felt really peaceful, and I wanted to go inside there. That was pretty cool, actually. And then earlier in the night, though, I remember I had a pack of cigarettes with me. It was American Spirits. And I suddenly thought that they were evil. And I put them on a shelf in my friend's, or actually, I would think it was the house that I was living in with a bunch of other people. But I put these cigarettes on a shelf, and I ran away from them because I was scared of them and I thought they were evil. I think maybe that did actually help me have less addictive behaviors, They say that psychedelics are pretty good for that, and I think in my case maybe that was actually true. I don't think I'm addicted to anything particularly except for my smartphone. But like, I'm not addicted to any substances, I quit smoking pretty much around that time. I kind of was a heavy drinker for a while in my 20s and 30s, but now I don't really drink that much, and I don't have that much of a craving for it either. So for that reason too, psychedelics are pretty good. I recommend them to everyone, at least once, I don't know what doing them a lot does to you. I don't know if that's bad for you or not. Some people do them constantly. Like they're on them all the time, or they're microdosing. Microdosing seems weird to me and kind of pointless. I would rather just have the full experience. But maybe if you're going to microdose, you should have at least done it once the full way. Or else you're never going to really have a truly psychedelic experience, you know? I know a guy who, he did mushrooms, I think, once, and he only took a half dose because he was scared he was going to get too high, and he said it did nothing to him. And just hearing that really pissed me off. I was like, why don't you just take the full fucking dose instead of, half-assing it? It's not like it's something you do every day, you know? If you're gonna do the mushrooms, just fucking do them properly, you know? Like, what a waste. Someone else could have taken that half dose and then had it with another half dose so that you have a full dose instead of just two half doses. And then instead of having two people get partially high or not high at all, you get one person getting a full psychedelic experience, which is what you want. So you'd be like, Gnarly, Brah. And then you'll think that, like, your curtains, the pattern in your curtains are, like, swirling around or something. One thing that was really cool, I remember, was, like, touching water when I was on mushrooms. The water felt really cool on my fingertips, like it was... No, it wasn't just regular water. It felt like it had extra special properties to it, you know? And I think, like, looking at water and even listening to the sounds that water makes when it's moving or something hits it, that was really cool too, I remember. And I also remember the next morning, really early in the morning, was like probably like 4 or 5 in the morning, and the sun was just starting to come up. I was walking outside with some people, and I was coming off the mushrooms, and I think that's the clearest my mind has ever felt. I felt extremely at peace, and I just felt like I kind of understood everything for a little while there. Yeah, that moment of clarity definitely made it worth it too. It didn't hurt that it was such a beautiful day that day. It was like, I think it was in the summertime. It was a really clear, sunny day, and I remember walking down a hill in Seattle, and everything just felt really right. Oh yeah, listening to music is really cool too. It feels like it has extra dimensions to it that you don't really notice. Or maybe it helps you notice them when you're not on them too, afterwards. But when you're on them, it feels like you can hear more stuff and you could almost feel the music in your body. This is kind of turning into a mushroom episode podcast. Curious how many of you out there have done them and what it was like for you. I kind of want to try it again sometime. But then again, I don't know. It's kind of a hassle. I don't like being under the influence of something for like hours at a time. I mean, just because I've done it already, and it's kind of like, it would be cooler if it was like a really short experience, like it lasted for like 1 or 2 hours. I don't want to be high for like the whole night, you know? I'm too old for that shit now. You know what I mean? Yeah, but anyone else who hasn't done it, or who's, any younger people, I really suggest you try it. You're gonna freaking love it. But make sure to go into it. I think it helps to really go into it with a positive mindset and good expectations. Don't be all paranoid and worried about it. And also be around like good, positive people when you do it. Don't be around anyone who's going to be like talking shit or planting creepy ideas in your head, you know? I suggest you do it with at least one other person though. And trip together. And just really enjoy it. I don't remember how it made me feel like my genital area. I wonder if it made me horny. I don't know if I had any sexual thoughts while I was on it. Maybe I did, but I don't remember. I was in college, so I was pretty horny back then. I probably made me feel horny, but I don't specifically remember that. I bet I'd like to hear people's thoughts on that too. What's your guys' favorite snack food, like from childhood? I think mine are probably regular Cheetos. Not the puffs, the regular ones. They used to be my favorite, like, chip or salty snack type thing. I almost never eat them anymore, and when I do eat them, they don't quite taste as good as they used to when I was a kid. But just the thought of that snack, like, it's kind of a comfort food for me. Yeah, I kind of miss Cheetos for some reason. I miss the way they used to taste when I tasted them. Seems like your taste buds change as you get older, right? And the stuff that you thought was really awesome when you were a kid, you taste it again and you're like, this is not that great actually. I guess as you get older, you're sort of, everything just becomes a little bit duller in a sense, right? Like you've experienced everything and kind of know what to expect. So, I don't know. That's why, people need to spice it up as they get older, right? That was a tweet I saw recently by this comedian named Fahim Anwar. He said that's why old dudes put so much hot sauce on their eggs, because that's the only way they can feel anything anymore. I think that's kind of true in a way. Everything needs to be doubled or tripled to have the same impact as it did when you were younger. Ooh. I wonder why that happens. Is it our senses are getting duller, or is it just that it's not novel anymore, so it's not exciting? But it's something I've thought about before too, like even like drinking alcohol. It used to be so fun, right? Now I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's gonna make me feel kind of good for like 30 minutes, and then the rest of the time I'm just gonna feel kind of a little bit groggy, and then the next day I'll probably feel like shit, so I don't think it's worth it. And even then, like, the drunkenness is not as enjoyable as it used to be. Which is why I have a sort of hard time understanding, like, people who are, like, really old, like in their 70s or 80s, who still enjoy drinking. Seems like for them it's just become a habit at that point. And it's not that they enjoy it that much, but it's like they're just addicted to it and they need it. That's why like an old drunk doesn't really seem to be having that great of a time, usually. They're like grumbling about something or falling asleep or just looking kind of shitty from all that alcohol they put in their body. They need to nourish their souls with something, like a cosmic dick or vagina, or butthole, or breasts, or even, a cosmic set of nipples just floating in the air. Nipples are kind of weird. It's funny that guys have nipples. Milk doesn't come out of our nipples. But I heard it's because when you're a fetus or whatever, or a zygote, I'm not sure which, your nipples form before your sex is determined, or your biological sex is determined in your body. So then you got these nips. Some guys have like really big pepperoni nipples, like if they were a chick, they would have had, large breasts with these really big nipples. Kind of funny when you see a dude with nipples like that for some reason. I don't want to like nipple shame anybody either. It's okay to have nipples like that if you're a guy. But yeah, I don't know, some guys have nipples like that and you think, I bet if that dude had been born a chick, he'd have really nice breasts. It's kind of a weird thought. You ever see like someone who's like a woman and they look really like their dad, and it's kind of weird. Or you see a dude who looks really like his mom, and that's kind of weird. I don't know why that's weird, but it kind of is. It's like, if you had sex with that person, you'd be kind of like having sex with their mom or dad, but like the opposite sex version of their mom or dad. Like a really attractive woman who looks like her dad. If you have sex with her, it's kind of like doing it with the female version of her dad. Or like a really attractive dude who looks like his mom. If you do it with him, it's like doing it with the male version of his mom. I don't know if that's quite accurate, but that's just the way it plays out in my head for some reason. Has anyone else ever had these thoughts? I hope I'm not the only one. I'm pretty sure I'm not. I think I probably picked that up somewhere. I don't remember where, but I remember a guy from the band The Black Lips tweeted once, you ever see, what was it? You see a woman, you see a woman with big breasts, but then you see her mom has small breasts, so you know she got those big breasts from her dad's side of the family. That's kind of a funny thought. So it's like she's kind of like the female version of her dad. Like if her dad had been born a woman, he would have had giant breasts. Yeah, and there's also that hip hop song I remember. I think it was in the 90s, where they kept talking about a woman with like a nice big butt, and they're like, she got it from her mama. But they never talk about, what if she got it from her dad though? What if her mom has a small butt and she's got a big butt? That means she got it from her dad, but they don't say she got it from her papa, because they don't want to think about it that way. They don't want to think that she got her big butt from her dad's side of the family, and that if they do it with her, they're doing it with like a female version of her dad. Because that song is pretty straight. It's not like, it's pretty macho. That's a pretty funny thought, actually. Anyway, don't commit suicide. But if you do, at least get a boner or get horny while you're doing it. And like maybe try to like come while you're doing it. Might as well get something out of it, right? Your last moments on Earth. Enjoy the summer, and thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.